Alright, Shalom. This is Howard One by Yasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp, located right here in Jacksonville, Florida. Before I begin, I want to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem, Harakah Kodash, Ma'amah. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders. Shalom to you, Akim, Nakwatim, and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. Let me make this a quick one. First time using this recording setup, but this epistle, this lesson is going to be based upon tribulation. All right, you have your everyday tribulation that life can bring, and then you also have tribulation that comes as a judgment straight from the Most High. Alright? So when the Lord brings judgment upon the world, it brings tribulation or troubles for children of Israel too, if we're in the midst of it. Alright? Because this place that we're in, America, is called hell. Especially with Esau ruling, their rulership is hell for the children of Israel in this system that they set up. So we're going to go through tribulation. We're going to go through troubles. Matter of fact, let's get that. Let's go ahead. This is Psalms 10, and this is Psalms 10 and 4. The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after Yahweh. Yahweh is not in all his thoughts. But even the system that Esau built is not righteous. You know, the religious system, their banking system, their school system, their employment, system of employment, right? Their food system, services, everything is all out of whack. This is Babylon, confusion. His ways are always grievous, man. So all his ways are grievous. Grievous to who? Thy judgments are far above out of his sights. All right, so now, let me get this. Alright. A few precepts real quick. This is Proverbs 29 and 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. See, once we're in authority, our people are going to rejoice, man. And even the rest of the nations are going to rejoice. Once the Israelites are in power. Alright. But when the wicked bear rule, Job 9 and 24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. The people mourn. All right, we're going to be mourning from what? All kind of, let me get that real quick. Let me get that manifold. This is, all right. Sorry, I just had a precept come on mine. This is 1 Peter's, hopefully I don't forget the other precept. Alright. 1 Peter's 1 and 6, wherein ye greatly rejoice, actually 1 and 5, 1 and 4, to an inheritance, I'm going to go to 3. Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Yahushai, which according to his abundant mercy hath begotten us unto a lively hope by the resurrection of Yahushua from the dead, to an inheritance incorruptible and undefiled, and that fadeth not away, reserved in heaven for you. This is your place in the kingdom. Who are kept by the power of Yahweh through faith. So if you're still in the faith to this day, it's because the Most High decided to keep you in the faith, period. Those that have fallen away, the Lord rejected them. Right? It says, so to keep you by the power of Yahweh through faith unto salvation, ready to be revealed in the last time. And so the Lord is ready. Is ready. Salvation is ready to be. It's got to be revealed to the world. All right. Wherein ye greatly rejoice. So our rejoicing is in salvation. All right. Ready. It says, wherein ye greatly rejoice, though now for a season. This is a little short season that Esau is ruling the world and going out to prepare war, create the war on this earth. All right, they were loose for a little season. And within that little season, we're going through manifold temptations. All right, trials, troubles, tribulation. So if need be, ye are in heaviness through manifold temptation, that the trial of your faith is a trial. The temptation is a trial period, testing you. Right? Testing your faith in Yahweh, that He can bring you through, to call on Him, to pray, to purify you, to purge out any imperfections as doubt, jealousy, envy, death, immorality, adultery. You know, all these different things have to be purged out of us as well. All right? So that we could be men of the Lord. You know, we're not going to be completely righteous, but there's a certain status. Well, what they say, order is protection, not a confinement. It's not a trap. Order is your protection. So us being in order, it protects us from tribulation. All right. So that the trial of your faith, being much more precious than of gold that perishes. All right. So we're more precious than fine gold that's all in the earth and in the heavens. The Lord said we're more precious than that. And our faith is more precious than that. It's rare. All right. Though it be tried with fire, see that fire might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. So through all the hurt, the pain, and the strain, and the confusion out here in this world, at the end of the day, you'll still be acting out the promise that Yahweh made to His Son for an army to be prepared for Him when He arrives. He said, "Thou shalt have the dew of thy youth." That means the dew is going to be there when the morning sun rises. You don't know how it got there, but it's just there. It appeared out of nowhere. That's the elect army that's going to be waiting for Yahweh Shai when he appears. The dew of His youth means the beginning of His kingdom. All right, ruling on this earth. So at the beginning of Yahweh Shai's kingdom, His army is going to be ready. That's what Yahweh promised Him. So we'll be found at the appearing of Yahweh Shai with praise, honor, and glory. Look at that. So to be honored means to keep your moral status and to do the work which is honorable. You know? So let me get back to this point now. So he said through much tribulation. Yeah, that was scripture I wanted earlier. Second Ezra 7 and 3. And I said, "Speak on, my Lord Yahweh." Then said he unto me, "The sea," meaning the kingdom, is set in a wide place, man. Right? With no direction. A wide place is like a desert, just open space. You don't know which way to go. Which way is right, which way is left, which way is, the path. That's the wide space. That it might be deep and great, that's the sea. Alright? Oh, yeah, kind of selected. My bad, I was thinking about something else. But put the case, the entrance was narrow and like a river. Alright? That means going through the streets. Alright? Going through the streets. It's a small path that only one could fit through at a time. Meaning working out our own salvation with fear and trembling. A narrow path that we got to walk. Say walking a fine line. Not straying to the left, not straying to the right. Straight. Going through affliction. But put the case, the entrance were narrow and like a river. Right? And this river flowing upstream. Who then could go into the sea to look upon it? So who could make it to the kingdom to see it, like Moses seeing the promised land? And to rule it, right? Not just to see the kingdom and to see it afar off in a vision, in a prophecy, but then seeing the prophecies happen, seeing Yahweh Shai, but who's going to be the elect that get delivered and taken into the kingdom to rule for 1,000 years to set the foundation of the kingdom? If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad, man? So the narrow way, that's going through the afflictions. Alright? There is also another thing. A city is builded and set in a broad field, and is full of all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall. That's why I went tribulation. It's a dangerous place where you can fall. That's why your faith is what's going to pull you through and keep you afloat. It's like having floaties on in the damn river. Alright, I'm going to get some more credit. Narrow. See if they got it in here. I was reading my Zondervan this morning. It's good to do that from time to time. I don't have it in here. Nope. So let me go to this real quick. It's a dangerous place to fall, man, and this is that place. All right. So it says in the Bible, narrow often signifies a path or a gate that is restricted, exclusive, or difficult to enter. Come on, man. It's only exclusive for the elect. It ain't going to be easy to get in there. VIP only. Particularly in the context of spiritual and moral choices. It implies a life dedicated to Yahweh. Right? In the midst of wickedness, and still being dedicated to Yahweh. It implies a life dedicated to Yahweh, characterized by challenges, focus. Challenges and focus, like a samurai, right? And a limited number of people choosing that path. That's the narrow path. Alright? So where we go through tribulation on that path. That's the path of affliction, going against the odds, going against the crowd, going against the status quo. Right? So now let me get the scripture. It says 2 Ezra 7 and and 7, the entrance thereof is narrow, exclusive, right? And it's set in a dangerous place to fall. That's the test. This is the danger room, the matrix. Like as if there were a fire on the right hand and on the left a deep water. You got the waters of affliction and the furnace of adversity. And only one path between them both, even between the fire and the water. So small that there could but one man go there at once. So everybody got to go through their own test. You know, this is really an individual journey, but we walk it together. But when it's time to go through that door, that affliction, that path, to make those choices and stay focused, it's on you. Every man has to work out his own salvation with fear and trembling. All right. So, if this city, the kingdom, now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? Man, you think he's just gonna give it to us? No, we had to go through a test. That's why this happened. You know, Most High establishing the first fruits, just like Yahweh Shai had to be tested first, being put on the cross, being afflicted. And so no servant is greater than his master. That's literally why we're here, to be tested and set up as the first fruits, so he can establish the second fruits, which will be all of Israel ultimately being saved in the end. But it's about the first fruits when it comes to salvation. All right. Now, it says, and I said, so Lord, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion. This is our test. All right. So, it says here in the Zondervan, it says tribulation, great tribulation, trouble of a general sort, meaning like everyday troubles being here in Babylon, with Esau ruling, these heathens ruling different countries, you know. We'll go to Job 20. They got a few precepts here. I'm going to see if I can get them. Job 28:33. I know Job 28:33. All right. Psalms 13:4. Psalms 13:4. Let mine enemies say, I have prevailed against him. But lest my enemies say, I have prevailed against him. And those that trouble me rejoice when I am moved. See, that's why you got to stay focused, man. We don't want to make the Most High ashamed. You know, by falling away. You know, that'll have our enemies laughing. Even the spiritual demon Satan will be laughing at you. The jackals and the hyenas, people chuckling and smirking. Your family members that saw you start off on this path, the scoffers, they waiting for you, man, to fall. They're waiting for you to slip up and to prove them right. But I have trusted in thy mercy. See, we trust in the Lord's mercy, that this is worth it. You know, some people have that spirit where it's like, I ain't gonna question God. I ain't doing nothing, man. The Lord ain't dealing with us. Yes, he is. You know, he is dealing with us, and he has opened the doors of mercy to Israelites today, if we would just turn to him and repent. All right. So let's see what other precept they got here. Let's go to Matthew 13:21. All right, it's Matthew 13:21. Yet have he not root in himself, right? See, when you come into this truth, you have to have a foundation. mine started with my last name, Jackson. I went to the letter J and found out the letter J never existed. I started looking into the name Jesus. I found out that wasn't true either. That means Zeus. Regardless how you put it, the vibration is saying Zeus. Right? And in the ancient Roman Empire, they put the S-U-S at the end for the sound to pay homage to Zeus. So people say it's just Latin or Greek for anointed. No, the vibration literally was put in place to pay homage to Zeus. You can look it up. All right. So it's about Yahushua. Then I found the name Yahweh. Found out I was an Israelite. Started studying into the history of where we came from. Then when I got to the name Yahushua, the Lord led me to the elder apostles of GMS. All right, I saw Apostle Tahar, I saw Apostle Ryan Lab, and Apostle Gabar on a video, like a black screen, but it was a circle around them. There was a helicopter and chariot. The chariots was in the air, and it was helicopters flying around it. That was the first video I saw of them teaching on 45th, I think it was, back in the day. So I have a strong foundation that nobody can take from me. I always say a door that no man shutteth and no man can open. It's all about Yahushua keeping you. All right? And His grace is a mercy. So a lot of you out there, you have a foundation. That miraculous story of how you came into the truth, that's the foundation. All right? And how you studied to show yourself approved and built up from the ground up, meaning through mystery, through breakdowns, not just going out there, I'm an Israelite. All right? Going through the process, you have His foundation. All right? Where was that? Matthew 13:21. It says, yet hath he not root in himself, but dureth for a while. So like a lot of people, they hang around for a little while. For when tribulation or persecution ariseth because of the word, by and by he is offended, man. See that? And a lot of times it's not direct. It'll be like your family members or your wife or a job or just people pulling away from you and you pulling away from people in the world. And you begin to feel that. And that makes you weak. Right? You got to strengthen your resolve, strengthen your purpose, strengthen your foundation. So a lot of people have walked away. They said, let me get that. So okay, one second. Where is it at? There you go. This is 1 John 2:19. And it says, they went out from us, but they were not of us. For if they had been of us, they would no doubt have continued with us. But they went out that they might be made manifest that they were not all of us. They were never of the first fruits anyway. They were reprobate silver. And the Lord is going to filter out all the alloys and the doubters. And just because you get kicked off of YouTube, that don't mean you're out of the truth. Just because you get kicked off TikTok or some shit, that has nothing to do with you being out of the truth. You know, the purpose is our faith. The purpose is that your fruit shall remain. That's the purpose. YouTube, you start from the ground up. We started from the ground up many times. 3 times now, I think. First page had 6,000 followers. They shut that Second page now, third page, yeah. So, but the whole focus is your track record, your foundation, your focus, your purpose, your mission, fortifying your mind, fortifying your brothers and your family. That's the goal. That's it. That's your little piece of pie, your little piece of the kingdom that you're set up to perfect. He said, if you've been faithful over this, I'll put you over much in the kingdom. So, so let's go here real quick. I'm at 25 minutes. So, go back to Matthew's. It says, yet, Matthew 13:21, yet hath he not root in himself, but dureth for a while. Right? You see him out there, shalom. For when tribulation or persecution ariseth because of the word, by and by he is offended. See that? So tribulation could have somebody fall out the truth. It's your test. And also, it can also create a diamond. It can mold you, tribulation. All right? So don't fall into doubt. Don't fall into the words and woes of this world. All the voices out here pushing at your mind, from the internet to your house, to your friends, to your job. You got to block all that out and only hear Yahweh. How do you do that? So when you start to be alone and you want to be around people, no, stay alone. Cut on the Bible, cut on the scriptures, or read, and grow. Hear the Lord's voice, man, before you walk back amongst the crowd. Sometimes we lose focus and lose touch of that signal. It gets drowned out by other voices out here in the world. Your wife giving you energy like you're lesser than what you know you are. Greater than that, you know. Your job, people just staring at you on the street. That's all part of the persecution. It's your energy, you know. But you got to know that. You got to find that focus. You got to hear his voice. You got to create the moments where you could be alone. And just like Samuel said, Lord, I hear you. Talk to me. And begin to read, begin to study. Right? And apply it to your life. So let's get this real quick. John 28. No, 16 and 33. I'm not going to be able to get all these precepts. So these things I have spoken unto you, that in me ye might have peace. Right? In the world ye shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. Come on, man. Yahweh Shai has already overcome the world. And he is our peace. He's our hope. So we're if he was able to overcome the world, we're able to overcome this as well. No affliction has happened unto you, or temptation has come unto you that is not common to man. That Yahweh Shai has not conquered before. We're going to conquer this too. Because of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. We're going to conquer this world. He said those that believe in Yahweh Shai have conquered it already. Because he conquered it. Right? So that's why it's being proven that the greatest battle ultimately in the end will be ourselves. Just like Paul said, man, he was wrestling against the flesh. The flesh had so many doubts. We made a spectacle to the angels and to man, if you're truly of the elect. Romans 12 and 12. Read rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, continuing instant in prayer. Man. So sometimes tribulation will lead you to prayer. The Lord like, yo, you ain't praying enough. Let me put a little pressure on it. And that'll force you to pray and call out to him, man. All right. Rejoicing in hope, or he might see you a little too happy out here. And he'll have somebody walk up and say something just to piss you off, and then you go teach. Now you like out there, you're going to slavery. Right? So being instant in prayer, that's important. Building your relationship up with Yahweh. Right? Hearing his voice, talking back to him, talking to him. Praying but not worrying. You know, I always say you gotta pray or worry. You can't do both. It's not good to do both. Because then you'll be a double-minded man. Not going to Yahweh with your whole heart. Alright, let's see what else they got. Let's go to James 1 and 27. This is James 1 and 27. It says, pure religion and undefiled before Yahweh, meaning our practices. You know, this is not a religion in a sense, but we are supposed to treat Yahweh religiously in our practices. Strictly, you know, restraint. So pure religion and undefiled before Yahweh and the Father is this, to visit the fatherless and widows in their affliction and to keep himself unspotted from the world, man. Alright, so we have to keep ourselves unspotted from this world. And every time we get dirty, we got to go back to the water to wash ourselves in the scriptures, in the word. Alright? To be unspotted. And to love. Love is charity. Visiting our people, going out and teaching. But at the same time, still being unspotted from this world. Being in the world, but not of the world. Right? So now, let's go ahead. Go ahead and get to my lesson. Romans 2 and 9. I got time for it. Romans 2 and 9. Tribulation and anguish upon every soul of man that doeth evil, of the Jew first, and also of the Gentile, the Israelite Gentile. So the Lord can bring tribulation directly upon you too, to correct you, to put you in order, and also to destroy a person as well. Alright? That's direct tribulation the Lord can bring to you as judgment. Let me read that real quick. Here goes the definition. It says, in a general sense, tribulation refers to a state of great trouble or suffering. In religious context, particularly within amongst the truth, the tribulation refers to a prophesied period of intense hardship and divine judgment on earth. So when is that? When the Lord is bringing divine judgment and intense hardships on the earth. That's real. That's now. He said, endure hardness as a good soldier of the Lord, that ye may be entire, wanting nothing, man, from the world. And if so, the Lord's going to give us everything beyond our heart's desire. So, letting go of this world so you can grab hold of the kingdom of salvation. But we're going to go through tribulation and intense hardships because the Lord is judging the earth, man. See that? He's judging the earth. So we're going to go through afflictions, tribulations, tests. Alright? It says Jacob's trouble refers to a prophesied period of intense hardship and divine judgment on earth. This period is often described as a time of wars. See, when wars happen, you have economic downfall. You have kingdoms falling. You have insurrections. You have militias. You have mindset groups changing. right? Setting policies, different policies being set in place, tightening of the pockets of the government, which means harder work for the civilians and more tribulation, especially if you're in the truth. All right, in a time of lies. They say truth is wickedness in the time of lies, because everybody that believes a lie is going to say the truth is evil. So this period is often described as a time of wars, natural disasters, famine, and persecution of the believers, all culminating to the second coming of Yahushua. Come on, man. All right. So let's go here. Matthew 24 and 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened. Right, because we're in the tribulation now, and it's going to get worse. And the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven. That's nuclear fallout. And the powers of heaven shall be shaken, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in the heaven. So after the destruction, in the midst of the destruction and the nuclear conflict breaks out, that's when we're going to see Yahushua coming in the clouds. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory, man. You know, a lot of people are going to be crying when they see him. Some going to be crying for fear. Some going to be crying because it's surreal that he kept his word. He's going to show up. And to finally see him, the one we've been talking about and teaching about and prophesying about over many generations, even many reincarnations. The spirit of the prophet is subject unto the prophet. So the prophecy of Yahushua going all the way back to the beginning, and now we get to see him. That revealing is going to be the biggest surprise you could ever imagine. It's from the Most High. It's going to be the Most High surprise that you can imagine. All right. It says, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of the trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. So all the elect going to be gathered in chariots when Yahushua shows up. So all this tribulation is going to build up to the day of Yahushua. All right, and remember, he said he'll never put more on us than we can bear. All right. And right at that moment, like when Abraham was about to sacrifice Isaac, and then the angel stopped him. No. And there was a lamb caught in the thicket representing Yahushua being upon the cross. And also his return. Because at that last second where it seemed like we're going to be cut off or destroyed, that's when the Lord is going to step in and send his angels, Psalms 91, to protect us at the sixth trump. And then deliver his elect. Right when the devil think they got us, they're going to shoot them missiles, allow them missiles to be shot off for depopulation. The Lord had Yahushua prepared for us. Can you imagine how amazing that's going to be in that day? All right, so Ecclesiastes Sirach 2:1, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation, man. It's about your soul. Get your soul right for the temptation of the flesh, the trials we may have to go through. Set thy heart aright. How you set your heart aright, man, is set your mind on the correct path with the scriptures. That's our spiritual compass. And constantly endure and make not haste in times of trouble. Right? Don't panic. Don't walk around in anger, irritation. Be Be circumspect and examine everybody that approaches you, spiritually looking at them. And if they're off, direct them. Don't let them direct you. All right. Cleave unto him. Oh, that goes with Isaiah 14. It said the Gentiles should cleave unto Israel. So cleave unto your brothers. Cleave unto this truth. Cleave unto Yahweh Shai. All right. Cleave unto him and depart not away. You know, stay with your camp. Stay in the truth. And stay in the faith and belief of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end, man. Right before Yahushua shows up, man, you'll be increased. You know? So he's going to give strength to the weak and to the weary. So, let me get that real quick. I'm going to end it. It says, Revelation 3:8, I know thy works. Behold, I have set before thee an open door, and no man can shut it. For thou hast a little strength, and hast kept my word, and hast not denied my name. All right? So this is a test like that G-force. You ever seen an airplane pilot? They train them, they set them in front of the camera, and they hit them with a G-force. And they sit there and their face start wrinkling up. They pressing on their damn skull and shit, that pressure, G-force, and some of them pass out. If they make it through, they can be pilots. That's a test. That's temptation. That's a trial. All right. Let me get this. End it with this. This is Acts 14:22, confirming the souls of his disciples. See, it's about your soul. The soul confirming you, meaning fortifying you, confirming you in the truth, and exhorting them to continue in the faith. That's what this lesson is, to exhort you to continue in your faith. And that's what we're doing every day, pushing each other, just like a drift or a wave. One moves forward, pulls the other one forward, pulls the other one with the tide. Moving forward, creating a wave. Right? So, and exhorting them to continue in the faith, man. Keep pushing. And that you must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of Yahweh. Alright, so we're going to go through tribulation, man, but it can't compare. Let me get that. It says 2 Corinthians 4:17, for our light affliction, this is light compared to God, to being God's and being in the kingdom for eternity, this is light, this is a small season. But if your mind is not right, it'll feel like all hell is falling on you. For our light affliction, he said his burden is easy, his yoke is easy, his burden is light, doing his work. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, right, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. All right, it cannot be compared to the glory that's going to come behind it. So with that, I'm going to say shalom.